Welcome to Writer's Way Podcast, the podcast where we step into the enchanting world of authors as we delve into their unique writing journeys and captivating tales behind their stories. I'm your host, Jessica Wilkins, and our guest today has the unique ability to shine. She's a writer whose words resonate with truth and vulnerability, has given us two powerful books. Holding On, a deep personal account of surviving sexual assault, and The Descent of Celia, a haunting exploration of mental illness inspired by her mother's life. Her work is more than just storytelling, it's a testament to the power of literature to foster understanding and empathy. Her journey from the classroom of art, the pages of her book is one of courage, resilience, and a profound commitment to telling the stories need to be heard. So join us as we welcome Martha Rucker. Welcome to the show, Martha.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. So Martha, we have been this book which has been generating a lot of buzz, and then it's quite a dark and complex and incredibly compelling to read. So I know our listeners out there are eager to hear all about it, so let's jump right in. And then the book that we're going to talk about is all about the Book of Celia.
Yes.
Okay, so The Descent of Celia paints a chilling portrait of a character with deeply troubling behavior. So what inspired you to explore such a dark and complex character?
The book had been swirling around in my head for years after I'd written the first book, 3 children's books, and I was ready for another serious book. And the question was how to do it. And it was actually almost 40 years that the book was written.
Oh, 40 years. So it's been 40 years that has been in your mind. Okay, that's quite fascinating. And then, yeah?
The book itself hasn't been in my mind for 40 years, but it started to take shape after writing Holding On, and I wanted to write something else, and this seemed to be the time.
That's why. That's quite fascinating. And then you really delve into Celia's early life, right? And then her actions, like the killing of the chick and her sisters, and then establish a pattern of disturbing detachment. So what were you aiming to convey about psychology in this early scene from Celia?
I was trying to paint a picture of how she got to the place where she had to be committed. And not being there during those early years myself, it was an act of creative nonfiction based on facts, things I knew about growing up on a farm, and a family history that my brother had done. In fact, that's the only way I knew that there was this baby sister, because nobody ever mentioned her. She was never mentioned.
Okay. So it was clear that from the book itself, there's a jealousy and resentment, right? And then those powerful emotions are driving forces in Celia's life. So how do these emotions contribute to her descent into darkness?
As early as the fictionalized incident with the baby chicken, she liked being the center of attention. And when her brothers, who were not in the fields with their father, went off doing something else, distracted herself by doing something else. And I just wove that scenario into the narrative because there was a chicken yard in the backyard.
Very nice, I guess. You also explore the family's enabling role, though, which is a crucial dynamic in Celia's life. why did they struggle to acknowledge and address Celia's behavior? Since family is one of the crucial aspects in life. If you're growing up, of course, family is one of the things or the support for being a grown up, right?
Back in her time, every family probably had what they call an odd duck in the family. They just put up with their eccentricities, excused, explained, tolerated. There wasn't an option for getting help at a facility. And there was shame connected with having a family member put in the state hospital. And they just tolerated, excused, appeased her to keep her from getting, And most of the years, the children tolerated because they had no choice, because she was the custodial parent. And the mother was just powerless after Celia's father died. It seemed like the father was the only one that could speak to her and make her shut up, kind of tiptoed around her. And I have to put myself in that class because I learned my behavior from looking at my aunts and uncles.
Okay. So, Celia's abuse extended to everyone around her. So, it's her dad only can control her. And then from then on, all other family members or everyone around her. So, what does this pattern of abuse reveal about her need for control?
You could not disagree with her. You could not criticize her. If she didn't like something, she had an issue with her older sister, jealousy came in there.
Oh.
The other siblings, as they married and moved away, when they came to visit my grandmother, they could appease and make nice with Celia while they were there. They could go back home. The husband, the mother, and the children were stuck.
So that's why everyone else is tiptoeing or either agreeing with Celia so that there will be no chaos going on.
Right.
So you masterfully balance portraying Celia's inner world with the perspective of her victim. How did you achieve that balance in your writing? Because Celia's complexity in mind and so us with the victim's mind has a gap on it. So how did you balance?
I experienced it. I saw how my father, my aunts and uncles dealt with her. And as I said, I kind of absorbed that kind of behavior myself. And when I started writing the book, I knew I wanted it in narrative form, not jumping back and forth. The only hook was the beginning chapter where it's the end. Then I start from there and going from her childhood going forward.
So it's kind of a flashback type of narrative.
By starting with the end?
And then going to the flashback as to what really happened.
Yes, what brought her to the point where she had to be committed.
Okay, so that's why. So the balancing of, when you balance those type of perspective, it's quite challenging. As for me, I'll be challenged. However, on your end, I guess since you had it experience yourself, I guess that is why the narrative that you have written is quite vivid, and you can really experience what really or what really happened during that time. So Celia's mental health deteriorates significantly. So what kind of research did you conduct to accurately portray her mental state?
I didn't do any research.
Oh, okay. Just based on the experience itself.
based on experience, and creative nonfiction for the first part of her growing up years, family history, fact, and what I knew farm life was like.
So there was no kind of research that has been conducted. It's all about the experience itself. Okay.
When I actually finished the book, I had been through some therapy because of the assault.
Oh.
And this was years after she passed, because all this time I was holding on to she was just difficult. She was just difficult. And I finally got that wasn't it. And I finally had words for what was wrong with her. When I finished the book, I looked up the definitions of all of bipolar, paranoid, schizophrenic, psychotic, all that stuff, and with notations from medical people. And I realized that I had already written for the definition.
Yes. You finished the book before you had the research. It's quite fascinating on how you do it, because other writers would have it researched first before doing the writing. However, in your end, you just finish the book and then realize that you need to have these notations of all those kind of experiences that has been in Celia's mind.
The words that could be applied to her.
Yes.
I researched those words, and that's when I realized I've already written to the definitions of what was wrong with her.
Yeah, you did. So the title, The Descent of Celia, suggested a gradual decline from the word descent itself. So what point did you realize Celia's story would take such a dark turn?
Most of my teen years into college even, it was, she was just difficult. You just have to be quiet around her. Don't make noise. Don't say the wrong thing. And one morning, she woke up very angry with me. And she said that she had a heart issue during the night. Somebody had called the hospital. She had been taken out on a stretcher, and then they brought her back into the apartment on a stretcher, and I never even woke up.
Oh, all of those happened?
No, they didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
I said, you must have been dreaming. And she said, no, I was not dreaming. It was real. And she was mad because in her dream, I did not care anything about her. And that's the first time I realized that it was more than she's just difficult. But it got worse later.
So that's why. So the sense of dread and unease is, of course, very palpable. So how did you create that atmosphere in your writing?
My brother bought a house in South Carolina, moved her back there, opened a bank account, take care of utilities and food. He was out of his way, but he was still taking care of her. When she was isolated down there, just a few miles from her sister, things got progressively worse. Another thing I realized looking back after I'd written it, the thread of not liking noise ran through the whole thing. Shooting at neighbors because they were laughing and talking in their yard. Shooting at school buses with loud children passing by because they wouldn't be quiet.
So only Celia was in that house. No one take care of her?
She was there by herself. Her sister was a few miles away, and when she had to go to doctor's appointment or go get groceries, the sister would take her.
They just leave Celia living alone in that house?
Yes, so she was isolated.
That is why. Because in that case of mind, I guess it's quite hard to take care of. Someone is, hard to get by or hard to get along with.
Mm-hmm. My
Yeah.
aunt tried, but there are two incidents in the book that she ran her out of the house with a ketchup bottle one time because she said something, I don't know what. She ran her out of the house another time, shooting at her because she said something she didn't like. And after the shooting incident, my aunt would never go back. She was done.
Yes, I guess that scares her.
I couldn't blame her.
Even me, is you just took care of her. However, there are some tantrums or of her being that angry.
She did not like people to disagree with her or criticize her.
Oh, that's quite difficult to handle.
Mm-hmm. When your only person nearby is your sister who can help you and drive you places, and you get in the car with them and you say something to her.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to have.
She carried a Colt 45 in her pocketbook, and that's not a little gun. That's a big gun. And my aunt almost drove off the road once. She said, disagreeing with something my mother said, my mother pulled out the gun and threatened to shoot her in the car.
My God, we were driving. My God, that's quite dangerous.
My aunt almost drove off the road. She
Oh my
scared us
God,
today.
that's dangerous. As for me, it's way dangerous, isn't it?
And you made reference to abusing husbands, siblings, children. Her older sister at one point, and I don't know why and who decided it was a good idea, put that older sister in my mother's house under her care when she was going into dementia, going blind, pretty much wouldn't speak. She abused her.
Oh my God.
My aunt told me about that, and I saw the marks on. This sounds so awful. She would put out her cigarette on my aunt's legs.
Oh my God.
And of course, I got a call, and I did my duty-bound visit, see what was going on, and I asked her about it, and her explanation made zero sense. Somebody would climb into the window of the room that my aunt slept in, put out their cigarettes on her legs, and not come any further into the house.
My God, that's awful. Okay, Martha, the ending with Celia being committed brings a sense of resolution. So what message do you hope readers take away from her story?
If a person is an adult, you really cannot, I found this out in researching, you really cannot compel or force them to go into a facility. If you don't have power of attorney over them, you cannot make them go into a facility. They have to reach the point where they're a danger to themselves as well as others to justify them being committed. And that's what I had to do.
Okay, so this was clearly an emotional, challenging book to write. And did you find it difficult to immerse yourself in such a dark world?
This answer is going to sound strange. No.
Oh.
No. I wrote about what happened. I put it in a reasonable narrative form so people wouldn't lose interest at a certain point. And I took a writing course before beginning it. I set up my table of content chapter by chapter, and I simply wrote to the chapters.
Okay, so
it wasn't that hard to do. Even when I look back and read over some of it myself, I cup my hand over my mouth and go.
Because the book is quite challenging to have or to write. It's quite into let's just say, if someone has a weak mind in reading it, they might pull into something strange, and they might have the, of course, once a reader, it is the imagination that works because you're portraying, or you're seeing what really happens through words. And then if a faint heart would read it, of course, they might immerse themselves into the character of Celia, and they might have an influence in it. So I guess the overall process in your writing into such a narrative or intense narrative is very intense for me. Intense.
Also, hopefully, if you read about something, you can decide, I'm not going to be that way.
Yes.
If I catch myself falling into some of those patterns, I know I'm going down the wrong road.
Yes. The conclusion or the realization, of course, will be at the end, right? Because once you finished all the book, and then you have this certain character that you idolize or you hate. Of course, either you idolize them or you hate, you will find a certain resolution out of them, a lesson to learn from.
Well, if it's somebody in your life, like my mother, I had admittedly conflicted feelings from 9, 10. I could not let the word hate come into my mind.
Yes.
But when I realized that she was mentally ill, I could separate my mother from this person. I still cared for and was concerned about my mother, but I did not like the person that she was. And I was completely free of guilt in saying that she was my mother, but I didn't like the person she was.
I guess everyone would understand it. So what do you hope readers will learn about the complexities of mental illness and its impact on family from reading The Descent of Celia?
If you don't see the signs, you might not pick them up. And if you don't pick them up, they progress and progress and progress. And it will reach a point where there's nobody around that can put her in a facility, and you can't as a sibling. So it's a difficult position to be in. Either you explain, excuse, accept, tolerate, or you back away. I used the word duty bound before. I felt duty bound. I could not back away, but I also realized the times that I went to visit her when she moved south that I really couldn't stand more than 5 days with her.
You can understand it because from the way she acts, of course, a lot of people would really understand your situation of not staying with her more than 5 days or less than 5 days. So it's very, I guess, common. And I think you stayed with her more
duty
than others. Yeah,
and because mother respect duty.
Yes.
Everybody else was like, hands off, I'm done.
Yes.
And it came to a point where I had to make that decision.
I see. So what kind of feedback have you received from readers? And then has anything that surprised you with their comments?
There was a young lady that I went to Toastmasters with, and she talked about her mother, and she gave a speech saying that her mother knew when she was just about to go off on the deep end, and she would check herself in. When I asked her to read the book, I learned that the grandmother had died, so nobody around her could make her go into a facility. And she was adult, and her children her siblings couldn't make her go. And her mother pretty much turned into what my mother was. And her feedback from reading the book was, it was like looking in a mirror.
Oh my God. Okay, finally, Martha, so what's next for you? Or are you working on a new project that delve into similar psychological themes?
I won't say similar psychological themes, but let's see. I have one called Words Have Power. That's finished. It's a collection of essays based on expanded speeches, Toastmasters. Uncomfortable Privilege. That's finished, except I need to do the research, supportive research on it. I've done my journal, and I learned something in my journal that either I forgot or I blocked out. That, well, when I was 10 and I said I wanted to go live with my father, my mother said, I'll kill you first. In this journal, I saw that during my college years, when I made no secret about the fact that I couldn't wait to graduate so I could leave, every time I mentioned the word leave, she said she would kill me before she let me leave her, like Daddy did. God. I had completely forgotten that, or just blocked it out, or just dismissed it.
Oh, that's quite hard.
I don't know if I included that in Celia, the revision of Celia. I don't think I did. The other not yet written is Giving Up Is Not an Option, and that is the story of my life.
Oh.
No, there are only two options. Don't give up and don't give up.
Same option.
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
A 19th century romantic novel that's totally fiction. I'm here. After the assault, I would ask myself, why am I still here? And when people would ask me, how are you? I'd say, I'm here. And
you're a strong woman.
Another one is Protected. I have a whole bunch of examples about that. And Angels Among Us. And the last, I think I threw this in, haven't quite figured out how I'm going to pull this together. All kinds of things except lazy. My journal, those are future book ideas.
So, of course, those are ideas that, well, you might have time to work on it and be it in a book. So, hopefully you can produce more books.
Yes.
So, Martha, this has been an incredibly insightful and thought-provoking conversation. So, The Descent of Celia is a must-read, and I know that our listeners will be eager to pick it up. So, thank you so much again for having us hear your story. Though you have it written in the Book of Celia, however, it is a true-to-life story.
The first, the version of Celia before I added that last chapter
yes.
is in the public library in Charlotte.
Oh, okay. So to those who are listening, you might want to grab the copy of Celia and then have it. You can also read it at the public library of Charlotte. Martha, is there any other way to buy your book? So could you tell our readers or listeners where to buy your book?
Once you publish it, I assume it will be on Amazon and several other platforms, Ingram's.
Okay, so to all other online bookstores and physical bookstores, The Descent of Celia is available. So wherever the books are sold, we'll have the link. Of course, once it's published, we will have those. And then don't forget to grab a copy. And then I'll see you next time. Once again, thank you so much for having us here, Martha. And I'm very much appreciated with you. Thank you so much.